need some coffee, man. I don't know about you. It's just been one of those. I need some coffee. You know what I mean? I forgot what side it was that's growing in better. Hold on. Somebody when the joint was like, yo, when I was doing so one of the things I was doing at first was doing all fitness videos, right? So I was doing shorts, 60-second clip. So I'll be doing a heavy lift or something. And yo was this dude, I don't know why, I'm lifting weights. Yo was like, there ain't no beard. You
Out
know
of
that nigga make you
nowhere.
real mad.
That ain't no
Then
real
you
beard.
try to go on his channel. It's not a channel. It's just a email, but they give you like a username. And I
Yeah.
just hit the username. Nothing. I can't even come back. I can't get the nigga back. I can't talk my talk. Try
Oh,
to
you
find
mean he
it.
made a comment?
Yeah, but he was like, that's not a beard. He was talking about how it grew. I'm like, yo,
You
you
can't
need to
get caught up
relax.
in them comments.
I know, but like, I'm just saying, like,
Brother, they
sometimes
ain't
you
saying
get
nothing intelligent. If they
yeah,
was
you
asking
get
something
caught up
intelligent,
sometimes talking about my
nah,
beard.
but that's what you can't.
Like, he had a soft spot. Like, the type of shit I done rubbed in this shit. I guess to grow different types of grease. Like it is what it is. My beard grow like underarm hair.
Shit, my
I gotta
oh,
bring my brother M on here. Yo be all on the boxes when they selling you the beard butter.
yeah.
Like he the dude face on the box. So we shout out to M. But we gonna get him back on here. You and him can talk beard butter. But what's up, yo?
my shit. It's the best my shit ever gonna get. I don't need to even take care of it. People be like,
That was a flex. Like I don't even put no butter on it. He just heard me say. He just heard me. Yo, the struggles is real.
This is some bullshit. Cause Harv shit. When I first had went and seen Harv one day, he was booked. Yo, and he had so much hair on his face, you could barely see his face. And my face, I ain't never had no beard before then. I used to have a goatee and shit. And when I seen his shit, I like that's how I want my shit. My shit ain't never grow like that.
That's your twin for real.
Yeah.
That's your twin.
Yeah. His shit grew the way he way more hairier than me. You could barely see his eyes. I mean, his beard was all the way up here. I was like, God damn. And I was like, yo, why you ain't shaving? Like, fuck that. I ain't shaving it.
You know, like I seen something on TikTok. The chicks was like, yo, you gotta beware of them beard niggas. Like, get them niggas to shave that shit first before you like commit to them. And they had a video nigga beard look good as a bitch. Then he had a haircut. And yo, pause. Like, but ugly is ugly, don't matter what your gender is. But the dude shaved his beard and he looked like a water bug. So like that beard get you up. You can have some good eyes.
Bullshit.
You can just have some good eyes in the beard.
I disagree
Dude,
because a beard is not enough of a.
If it go all the way up like here, yeah, if your joint fill out, yo, I'm telling you, and all this
only thing it can cover up is
your eyes,
razor bumps or something like that, and it can't even cover that up. Nah, that's just
yours
some female trying to get back with that. Because everybody be saying that they cosmetic and things of that nature, so they just trying to say something to get back.
So you think that's like the clap back, the weave,
the weave and the makeup and all that shit.
I done seen some of these makeover videos, yo, like that don't like the
Now,
before and after is a catfish.
Now,
Before and after shit send a nigga to jail. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
They are, it's not the same, baby.
It's and the crazy thing is, sometimes we used to meet women, we didn't even know what they looked like until for granted, but it still wasn't they still wasn't trying to make themselves out to be something like on Friday when the chick say she looked like Janet Jackson.
I think a lot of times like the way the aesthetics of women nowadays, because everybody copy each other, they all look the same. There's no like uniqueness. You know what I mean?
I know.
So what we talking about today, Doug? What's on the list? He got the list again, y'all.
Nah, you know what?
What's on it?
Got on there?
Yeah, let's get it.
I was gonna talk about we was talking about kids and what change their mentalities and things of their nature, but we know what we neglected to talk about was the main factors going on with with a lot of the children, the fact that they coming up and with these stimulus already in their body as they are born, such as perks now, crack at one point in time, lead at one point in time. And you got all these chemical stimulus that's altering people's mental state, and now this is what we dealing with. And like you said, we was talking about changing their minds and changing their mentality, but it's almost impossible to change somebody's mentality that's really irrational. You know what I mean? Because that's what all them drugs lead to, irrationality. Like if you get lead, yo, you can't really determined on conflict resolution. You really can't deal with situations. So of course, the only natural thing people, mostly men, deal with is well situations is violence. You know what I mean? So then you got listen though, listen. Now, first 80s, 90s, they had the crack baby syndrome, right? Now, let's say and then it was still going. Everything was going on with the lead too. Kids was having lead.
Cause crack really started. That was like, no, you skipped the era.
What?
Like the heroin and sniffing coke epic. Then it was the crack. So people in the 80s, early 80s, was born addicted to heroin and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Very.
it seemed like the crack when the term crack baby came about. That's what it made. That's what everybody started really
I
paying
remember.
attention to.
Yes.
And like you said, now you have children that's born with some levels of lead, and then their mother or father, well, mainly mother, may be on the substance, crack, dope, whatever. And now you got them having a child. Now that child already got a limited mental capacity, right, because of the parents and their abuse of drugs, right? So now they grow up with, they might be premature, they might be autistic, they might be, it might be 1,000 things wrong with them, asthma, all kinds of things because they wasn't nurtured properly because of their parents. Now they have a baby. Now they didn't grow up. Now 9 times out of 10 they get a substance abuse problem, whether it be perks, weed, alcohol, you know, whatever the case may be. These perks today, all these young kids on these days.
Note, cause just add a sidebar in there, and a lot of the perks they're using now, you could just order the machine on Amazon and make your own perk. So they'll crush the Percocet up and try to stretch it, put fentanyl and other stuff in there,
Yeah,
thinking they chemists. I just wanted to add that.
but I'm getting back to the their people ability to deal with situations and wonder why the violence is so going so extreme and why it's because the you got to realize the mental capacity is coming down every let's say every lifespan, every generation. Let's say every generation. You feel like then they say the 60s and 70s where black people did the best. Things that made the 50s, 60s, 70s. That's when well before then too is when black people was doing the best, but that's wasn't no whole bunch of chemicals involved in. You know what I mean? Now you gotta realize that they didn't put all these chemicals around us and in us, and now of course it's going to affect us to many degrees, to the point that you can see that the masses, the only thing they know how to do with those situations is do violence, and I'm a
But
victim of it myself.
only pushback I would give you is that I'm gonna agree with you, right? The only pushback I would say is that um I don't think it's everybody. You know what I mean? I don't think it's the whole population, but I think it's enough that you could, like you pointed out, the violence and stuff like that. But I think it's more factors on top of that. And I think that's just one of the moving parts when it comes to it. Like you pointed out before, the 60s or whatever, you had more cohesive family, more people getting married, just had different conservative traditions. And as time went on, a lot of different things happened to the black family. We went through Jim Crow, we went through racial discrimination, we went through the Vietnam War, where people came back addicted to heroin. Um, and we had to have stuff like affirmative action because we was being discriminated against and we couldn't get jobs. And then you had welfare come in the picture, kick dad out the house in order to get the check. Then you had the drug epidemic brought on. We even got movies like Snowfall glorifying what happened with the CIA funding all the different wars that was going on in South America, using drug money to fund it from the money in the communities. So you factor in that, the drug element with people being born with chemical addictions, and the fact that we done destroyed the family. We done took dad out the situation and we made mom an addict. We got lead paint. We got a school system that's at that time, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think it was really designed against us.
Yeah.
It wasn't always like that, but it turned into that. Into now it's just the status quo. So I think that's the only pushback I would give you. I think it's not a whole lot of the population, but enough of the population combined with other stuff. But your point still stands.
Yeah, I mean, like, but but after
The-
all you said,
yeah,
it still goes back to to the drug use in some form or fashion. Because
I
if you
agree.
take the drug use out of if you take the drug use out of all of the equations, that changes all the equations.
I
That
agree.
changes the parents, the people on welfare. That changes the people that that came back from war addicted to drugs. If you don't put the drug into them, they not addicted. They come back with a whole different mentality, whole different mindset. So that's what I'm saying. Like it all, and then it wasn't just. But what I'm saying is like now you got the drug, the crack came out 80s or whatever, 70s or whatever the case
Yeah.
may be. Now, like I said, now you got a generation of crack babies, with a generation of lead babies, a generation of new substance Percocet babies, which is
That's something different too. Like the way they look like little zombies out here.
I mean, but it's still it's drug is a
Yeah,
drug is a
yeah, I'm just
drug.
saying. I agree. It's like just to add something to what you're saying. Like just think about, you older than me, so you got to see stuff from a different perspective. But I seen it as a young kid. When we seen the junkies, the zombies, and all that.
Yeah,
But this generation of these young guys, they didn't live through that. They are the new junkies.
they're the zombies.
Yeah, exactly. Because remember, it was like we had rules, even though everybody didn't follow them, but we wasn't trying to be a dope fiend.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Now, like, I mean, they doing opioids and they have the same mannerisms
yeah.
as the dope fiends back in the day
And don't
because
act
they
like
did
they don't understand or realize
exactly.
it. Like somehow they're different.
I didn't mean to go on a
No, no,
tangent.
you
I
go
just
ahead, go
wanted
ahead.
to add to your point because like, I see what you're saying. Keep going, keep
Yeah,
going.
no, that's all what I was saying is that the drug element is so
I think it's
deep embedded in there because even if you take the lead out, that's still the crack babies. We can by now some of the crack has been weeded out of the people because if you take a person that was born with crack in their system and then they got out of it and managed to live a normal life and then meet somebody else that didn't have no parts that didn't have to deal with that type of stuff in their blood system and then they have a baby, then the baby will have a chance. But now you meet somebody who had a problem with crack when they were born, which deals with their limited ability. And then you got another young man who had lead when he was young, who dealt with his mental, that had problems with his mental capacity. Now they have a baby together. Now neither one of them could deal with situations on their own. How are they going to deal with a child and teach them how to deal
I've
with
seen
situations?
that. I know exactly what you're talking about, Doug. It's not a foreign thing. I've seen it.
Yeah,
And you see that's the little Pookie and Ray Ray mom.
yeah.
And they father named Black and his brother named Blue.
Mm-hmm.
And their mother named Loretta. Because it's all happening in like this incubator in the hood.
Yeah,
Now everybody might not be that way, but
yeah.
it's
Of course.
enough.
Yeah,
It's
it's
enough
enough.
that you see the spike in violence, you see the
Mm-hmm.
activity, you see it, you see the signs and all the red flags before they get old enough to pick up a gun.
Thank
You see them getting kicked out of the class.
you.
You
Mm-hmm.
see they can't focus to do the work. You see they getting in a lot of fights. And
Mm-hmm.
then they be the ones stealing the cars because
Yeah,
that was the next step
yeah.
growing
That's
up.
the next
Then they
step.
selling drugs and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Then they playing with guns and boom, and either they dead or in jail.
Yeah.
Or they done had a bunch of little kids, little Railroad One and little Black Junior and all this, that, and the third, and the cycle keep repeating itself. And like you said, a lot of uh a lot of the people that's breeding for us, and it's kind of like I don't know how to say this without being offensive, but like you start like we like reproducing the same degenerate shit in a sense. Not the sharpest and the brightest,
Yeah.
but the killers and gorillas.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and say that it's not an intellect thing, but if you got some type of damage, it's like you can't get past that wall in your
Exactly.
mind and the way you deal with stuff, you act out.
Exactly.
Like you
Yeah,
said, to
I'm
the
with you.
violence.
Yeah.
Um, you hit on a lot of things in your introduction. Like when you said just imagine you said you brought it back to the fact that drugs is the main thing.
Yeah. In
It
one form or
really
fashion.
is. It really is in every element. Cause like if you wasn't affected directly, you was affected indirectly somehow. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? No different than how either I know somebody got killed or somebody close to me got killed. Everybody was affected by the violence. The same thing with drugs. But
Mm-hmm.
we don't never want to boil down to the origin of it, and it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because if you go back to everybody before all this happened, in the '60s and the early '70s, and then when drugs got introduced, you see the crumble of everything,
Mm-hmm.
even the school systems.
Yeah. I'm, yeah, but the school system always been the school
What the
system.
fuck is we talking about? we
Nah,
just
cause it,
we
nah,
just
that's
what's the
just
name?
like the school system, but
No, no,
that
I
just
ain't want
kind
to
of
take it off.
fitting.
No, no, I'm
But
not
no,
trying to
but
fuck it
like we
up.
said,
Yeah.
we like going back to what like we was talking about the that like the drugs in one form of fashion, how they deal with people and
How
due to
did? Let me
generation.
ask you a question.
Go ahead.
You asked me a question, but I'm gonna ask you the question first. How did it affect you?
Oh, it was crazy. Listen,
Uh
you want
oh.
me?
Story time. Story time
That's
with
crazy.
Bill.
Listen, I'm
This
about
coffee good as shit, by the way. My bad.
all right. Let's say crazy shit, right? I'm about 12. I'm going to College Square on Oliver and Monfort, living in a little block called Madure Street. Now, about who knows what time it is in the middle of the night. But, me and Hard, we wake up to some noise. It sound like thunder. We think it's thunder, but it just keep going. So we walk to we're in the middle room, we walk to the front room. And it remind me of Poltergeist when the little girl was mesmerized by the TV. Because all we could see is like this orange light and this noise, but my mom come running upstairs, she grabs us, snatches away from the window. What actually is going on is her car is blowing up in the front of the house. So she went about the window implode because she hear us wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first she hear the car, she probably just thinking about the car, but then when she hear us upstairs, now she worried about the window coming in and imploding. So the car is actually blowing up. Ain't no fire, like boom, boom, right? And now I'm 12. I don't know what's going on. Now my stepfather come, right? We had one of them wrap around living room sets probably a little bit before your time. It's like a wrap around now, but back in the day it was had this little end piece that was hard. So when my stepfather show up, he bring a gun. He set the joint on the couch thing,
Mm-hmm.
the little end table, to sit there for probably about 3 or 4 days, right? We
Yeah.
young enough to know not to touch it, not to mess with it, man. Hard. Like I said, I'm in the 6th grade. Now, my mom get a phone call. Oh, all right, they about to try to do something to the house. Now, my mom grabbed my little brother, which was she had to carry him. She take the gun, she wrap him up, and put the gun underneath so couldn't nobody see the gun. Wrap the blanket around him. We walking down. She grabbed me and her. We walking down to the neighbor house. Now the people that we're actually talking about are my uncles that blew up the car.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to do something to the house, right? So one of my uncles coming across the street while my mom is walking us down the street. Now he walked past us and walked towards some lady that was in the door. So we get to the neighbor's house about 6 blocks down the street. My mom busts out crying
Mm-hmm.
because she like I almost shot my brother. You know what I mean? She like because she thought that he was coming to do something to us. She got 3 kids with her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he coming across the street. This is now I don't. I'm finding out all this information later. I don't know this
Yeah.
information when I'm 12. So of course they know that he didn't blew up the car. You know what I mean? And later on he told me how he did it. He took a hanger with a oily rag. I said, why oil? He said, because you don't want to put gas on, you ain't gonna be able to run away.
Yeah.
He said,
Exactly.
so you put the oil in there. He said, I lit it. He said, then I got out of there. The next thing you know, it blew up. So he we go down to the neighbor house. Like I said, my mom busts out crying. She almost shot her brother. So now we go around to my stepfather's house on Monfort and Oliver. We lived on Madura and Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
So we round there. My stepfather and two of his friends go around our house. Now I told you the gun round there. Now while we round here, we can hear so many gunshots going on at the house,
Mm-hmm.
at my house, and because my uncle and them live across the street, right? You know how back then everybody family seemed like they
Yeah.
lived on the same block.
Mm-hmm.
So we lived on one side, they lived on the other side. So like I said, later on, my stepfather told me what actually happened when we
Right.
hear the gunshots. He said, Wayne, he said, now we already know they supposed to be doing something to the house. He said, I ain't gonna say my uncle's name. One of them passed away or whatever. One of
Rest
them
in
still
peace.
alive. But Yo, they come outside shooting in the air, so that's the first round of gunshots. He said, so I come out. He said, we shoot too. Let them know we got guns too. You know what I mean? So he
Yeah.
said, but then he said, just so happened, he said, I'm going to walk up the step. There go some more gunshots. He said, I don't pay him no mind because they were just shooting in the air, but these three come through the window, one catch him in the shoulder. So he said, he tell the guys downstairs that's with him, two guys, both of them that passed away now.
Rest in
And,
peace.
he tell him, but my stepfather was kind of like, he was so cool, calm, and collective, remind me of Clint Eastwood and shit, on some other shit. But so when he told him that he was shot, they didn't believe him.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to really like, yo, no, I'm shot. We got to get out of here.
Right.
You know what I mean? We got to get out the house. So when they come to get out the house, my uncle and them waiting for him. So now this is when we hear the war shit. Like it was
Back and forth.
yeah, it was back and forth. It was ridiculous. So my stepfather, he run to his house, which is where we're at. So when he get there, my mom's now we're in the house at his house now. We hear the shots. My mother is going bananas because she's in a no-win situation. There's either her brothers or her baby father that's getting shot right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? We hear so many gunshots. She just knows somebody is dead. You know what I mean? So when he get there, my mother go to hug him because she happy to see him. He like, don't touch me. He said, I got pellets everywhere. My uncle had a sawed-off shotgun. So he said, I got pellets everywhere. He said, so, you know what I mean? Call an ambulance. He said, I got pellets everywhere and I got a slug in my shoulder.
Right.
You know what I mean? But all of that transpired, right? Because drugs. My uncle got locked up, right? Left the grass or whatever in the backyard in a trash bag. Told my mom to go get it, right? My mom go get it. She spent some money out of it, get some new tires or something like that. That's why they blow the car up. Like, oh, you gonna spend my money on your tires? Boom, blow the car up. And he tell her to take the weed to somebody else. What's the crazy part about the whole story is the person who he tell her to take the grass to, which was his baby mother.
Yeah.
Lived with her father, her stepfather. He takes all the grass from her, right? So my uncle, like, he's wild. So you see, wild because he's trying to do something to her. He tried to get the dude, but missed him, right? Go down there one day to see his kids, and the dude opened the door with two guns, kill him.
Damn.
Over the same grass. So you talking about like, yeah, drugs.
Well, I have some of those stories, but I don't. It is too incriminating. But I'm gonna say this part. For me directly, like minus of violence, is watching the way I live change.
Yeah. Your lifestyle?
Yeah.
From like,
Just from being a child, from living a certain type of way,
to
living with people, to having to be in the streets myself and take care of myself.
Yeah.
Because of that. If
At a
that
young
was
age?
Yeah, exactly. If that wasn't it, I think when I was in PA, I was a teenager. I wasn't even 18 yet. I'm up there selling crack. Like, oh yeah, we taking the crack up here. Nickels, dimes up here.
Yeah, it's for 20s.
Yeah, exactly. But and just watching, I just don't really want to be. I just want to be respectful as possible. Watching good people that I love
deteriorate in front of your eyes.
Stealing.
Yeah.
Stealing, going in your pockets while you sleep.
Yeah.
Staging burglaries, putting the TV by, take a VCR, hit the TV, take the TV down, put it by the door.
Staging
burglaries. All kinds of stuff. Yeah, like, yo, there's good people that's not here no more because of that ultimately, and what it did to their body. But what it did was, like, you see all of us out there, some of us had fathers, some of us had mothers. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Or you sneaking, your mother getting high, we all in the same group, we all selling crack. But he serving your mother. Everybody know that your mother come cop from him when you're not around. Yeah. And like, look, Miss such, don't be, that's my man. Come on, I got $4. Yeah. Just stuff like that, and just
yeah.
And then you gotta think, being that person, how you was robbed of something, right? Your childhood, you was doing the same thing to other kids. Think about that. Yeah, you robbing other kids at Christmas, school clothes, birthday shit, Easter shit. Because back in the day, I celebrated that shit. That was the tradition. You know what I'm saying? And you just take so much from people, and then all you do is create different versions of yourself. And everybody ain't cut from the same cloth. Everybody not gonna be with the same group of guys when they come out in these streets. They might not make it.
Yeah, they
You know what I
did.
mean? So like, if and I hate to say if, you know what I mean, because everybody, our time is our time. You know what I mean? You can't say if I did this different, maybe I would have been here or landed there. But like our time is our time. But I still ask that question sometimes. If you know I had parents that cared about homework,
Yeah.
if I had people who wasn't addicted and addicts, how would my life be? But then at the same time, I look at my life and it ain't perfect. I say, well, I look at people who quote unquote had this perfect life and how naive and goofy they are. I'm glad I went through a lot of the things I went through because it made me me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like growing up, growing up in Hickey, growing up in Waxes. Waxes was first because that's when you like 13, 14.
Yeah.
Boys Village.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All the juvenile joints. Just back and forth, kept getting locked. Back before it was a central bookings when you used to go to the precinct.
Yeah.
And then if your mother ain't come get you by 12 o'clock in the afternoon, you on that bus.
Yeah.
You going to Sheldonham. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of stuff, even within that experience. Let's say it was guys in there that was getting their ass took by other young dudes, getting their ass whooped, getting their food took. Like, all right, for instance, right? You ever see like an animal that get beat
Yeah.
and you go to pet it and jump?
Yeah.
It's not the same animal as another animal that never went through that.
Yeah.
His psyche is completely fucked up.
Yeah. You
So
can't
like
get
there's a
that
lot of
from
stuff
it.
that you go through
Yeah.
that you wouldn't normally go through, that you become your psyche is fucked up, and it adds to, let's say if you have some type of a chemical imbalance that you was born with,
Thank you.
or you never learned, you didn't have a dad there, or your mom was this, so you never really learned how to communicate or manage your feelings. And now all you getting your social cues from your homeboys and all the people outside. So we laughing at you getting a job, and when it comes to something, this is the way we handle stuff with that gun. Or all we seen was we act like women respectfully with emotion,
Yeah.
but we men.
Yeah.
So like it's violence behind that. Or know what we gonna do? We gonna fight, or we stab you up, or we gonna get that hammer.
Yeah.
So it's just so many moving parts to that. Like, and I could tell 1,000 stories, yo, but I just don't want to. I don't think I'm ready to do that yet. But I think one day maybe it could be a me and you situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, cause one time I tried to do it before, but it was like I can't right now.
Yeah.
You know what I
Nah,
mean? I can't, yo.
It ain't like that. The type of, when I talk about it, it kind of helped because it's like you done had this stuff pent up inside you for a lot of time. And I done told a few people the story and that like, and what
I just don't want. It's the camera. It's like I ain't ready to. But whatever. I'll do it one day.
But the people at the when I went to the that rehab that time in Pennsylvania when they sent me to that thing, and you got to really open up and
Before you continue that, just stay right there for. I got one question.
what?
Was you resentful when you first got there?
Yeah,
It felt
hell
like I
yeah.
don't need this shit.
Fuck yeah,
I'm not this, that,
from
and
the
the third.
street,
Yeah, exactly.
But I told you before that it actually I had to once I accepted what was my problem,
Yeah,
it helped me because they're saying drugs, right? So of course everybody thinking drugs, but like I said, everybody drug. Like you just said when before I don't even know if you said it when the camera was on. You like, yo, I ain't even exercise. That's my drug.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Everybody drug ate
yeah.
a chemical.
That's why I say healthy habits.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So everybody drug and the chemical. My drug was the street, like and living a certain lifestyle and people looking at me a certain way and having a name and things of that nature. And then
Yeah.
when and like we was talking about ego and pride, and like we were saying, the more ego you get, the more pride you get, but the less pride. We said ego and power. So the more ego you get, the more power you get, the more ego you get.
Right.
But
That
once
makes
your
sense.
power come down, your ego's still gonna go up because you're trying to get back to that power and that ego status that you once
Yeah,
was.
because of your ego.
Because of your ego. That's what I'm saying. So
I
your
get it.
ego stay inflated until you can get control of it. And and I think that's what they helped me get control of. Not just it was an ego, but it was like it was a pride thing. And like I said, even when I came home, it was to the point that I was like, I didn't feel crazy about catching the bus. I didn't feel crazy about walking places. Man, at first, we hacked it everywhere, cabbed it everywhere if we didn't have our own car.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? We weren't catching no bus, no wares, no hustlers, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it was like once you let go of certain things, certain ideas that you think people may have about you, and start worrying about yourself and the people that you got to take care of, which was my children and things at the time. And my
Sidebar, just to your point, like what a lot of people don't understand about your era, right? My era, I'm part of your era, but I'm on the back end of your era. And like your era, y'all was like when we was just getting introduced to like a lot of drugs.
yeah,
Like y'all was out there. We talking about I think you had guys in the same vicinity that we talking about, the neighborhoods that you named. Dudes making $100,000 a day. Dudes making $40,000 a day. Dudes making $75,000 a day, all selling dope, scrambled dope. Or you might got some Shirley out there, so you got that going, and then like you got shops. Then you might have this one corner that's unorganized where there's a bunch of guys out there just jumping off the porch, and it's just rugged, and every man for themselves running to the sales, running pulling pills out their ass and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was just different. So like, but when you say that, when you say ego and pride, right? And like those times, it was like niggas knew certain names rung bells,
yeah,
and the names that was tied to those names, and
yeah,
it like you knew what that meant. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So, and then the money and how money was being made, and it was money there. It's not like now where you got to get on the phone, somebody got cash app you, and the new dope fiends is these young kids, unfortunately. But it was just different then. You know what I'm saying? So like, so you went to prison. We both went to prison, and like you said, ego and pride coming home from prison, right? Being that same, because you still the same person. You just
This my
all
second time because the first time it ain't work.
well, that's what I'm getting to. So like, with that being said, and I don't want to get too far from the topic,
Go ahead.
but like, how did you had to separate yourself at some point?
That's
And
what I'm
how
saying.
and how was that for you? Just not being a part of the tribe, or even not necessarily being part of the tribe, building a smaller tribe to insulate yourself to keep you from out of that situation. You know what I mean? Going back and forth to jail.
Because I learned that niggas is cocksuckers. And you do that, you put your whole life on the line, and put everything on the line for dudes, and they really don't be having your best interest
Right.
at heart.
They want you to
And
crash out for them.
and when things happen, you see how they are. You know what I mean? They Of
Hmm.
course, when things are good,
Yeah.
nobody is crossing you, or everybody's your friend. Anybody do anything for you. But when it comes time for them that you need something, that you really did need to do something for you, they're not nowhere to be found. You feel what I'm saying? And go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say to your point, not to hold that thought. You know what I mean? Older dudes when I was like 14 years old, hit a gun, a situation happened and gave me the gun.
See, I ain't do shit
I'm
about
just saying, like, yeah,
because you young and they get
exactly.
concerned.
But these are
But that's what I'm
exactly.
saying. They
But
tell
to
you
your
they your
point,
big homies, and they got your
exactly,
best interest at heart, but they only
exactly,
using you. Exactly.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So, and and when I was when I it was that rehab though. I think that was the best thing that could have happened, because I
Yeah,
feel like, even though when me and you, when we was in Pennsylvania, I had already made in my mind that I wasn't reading no more fictional books. So when we was up there, any book that I read was nonfiction. You
yeah,
know what I mean? So I already had that in my mind, that I was going to be a different person when I came home, and I wasn't going to go through the same thing, because I wasn't trying to get locked back up. Like I said, that was my second time being locked up out of state. And that shit was crazy, because just like it then, and like the feds, and even different, because it ain't as sweet as the feds. It was a shithole way far in the mountain somewhere. You know what I mean?
hmm
So, and then I ain't know nobody and things of that nature.
yeah.
So
That's different when you
yeah,
don't
it
know
was
nobody.
different.
That's different when you bitten out of state. It is a different
Yeah,
monster,
it's
and you
different.
become your city. You know what I mean? And you gotta represent
Like
that.
we spoke of last time, like
Yeah.
that became your name, Bimo, Bimo, Bimo.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But that shit made the bit hard. But I feel like that, like you said, if it wasn't that way, I probably wouldn't have learned my lesson. Because if I'm here and I catch any of them charges,
You with your group though. You with your tribe in
thank
there.
you. I know down there
Now and
everybody
now
there.
you over there. Now you over there thugging.
Thank you.
It's true.
And you don't learn nothing, because you're so busy running around with people. You killing time. You're not being productive with your time. You're
Yeah.
just killing it. Like I said, the first time when I went to Jersey, I was just killing time. I'm doing anything. We smoking, we gambling, we fucking and I'm reading anything I get my hands on. Not nothing that I need to read. You know what I mean? So I was just killing time the first time. The second time, I tried to utilize my time a little better, to make me come out a better person. And then when they sent me to the rehab, I was already on some mental growth shit. So that just kind of really
Yeah.
just jabbed at me and was like,
How
all
old
right,
were you? How old were you when you had that epiphany? Like, I'm not going to do this. Like when you said the mental growth. When you would say
listen,
you was like, how old? Was you
you
like
want, I was
27?
in, we was in, I was in,
I'm just saying, how old are you? I'm just
that was
saying.
2001. And what
You
this
was
is,
like 20. You was like 27,
no,
28.
2001, just 2004. That was 13 years ago. I'm 51. 13 years ago from there, it was 38. 13 years ago, I said, yeah, that's 38.
Nigga, no, I was, you talking about when we was together or before
Yeah,
that?
when we was
No,
together.
that's not, you was no goddamn 38. You was in your 20s.
I couldn't, nah.
You had to be. Doug, listen,
My,
you
what that was,
53.
2001.
23 years ago, nigga.
Oh,
What?
shit, that's 23 years. I said 13.
Yeah,
God damn.
you forgot 10. That's how old you are. When you
Yeah.
could forget a whole 10
So that
years.
make me 20.
Yo, this nigga old as shit. What the fuck is wrong with
I
this
said
old
13, it
man?
was
He
23.
be
So
in the
yeah.
house. He be in there taking fish oil and shit.
Nah.
Icy hot.
Yeah, I was 28 when I had that. When it happened.
That's what I'm saying. So like, I mean, that's not young. I mean, it's young, but it's not young. You know what I mean? It's not young
It's not. It's too old for
to be starting over.
yeah to be starting over, and it still ain't work because I still ran into mad difficulties
Right.
because like no matter what, like I said when I moved to PA, like it once you have those once your record is like that, it's like it's hard to get out of that. Even you can't even breathe wrong without them thinking that it's something behind it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you was
So
bringing up records like when I had one in front of the parole board, right? Based on all the charges that I had down here, not the they was like you a menace to society because how they view stuff up there and the way they lock dudes up there,
yeah.
you be still in there. You wouldn't have been home to get these new charges.
Mm-hmm.
And even your juvenile stuff, they can't hold it against you, but they could look at it to try to figure out what's the word profile you or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And, I had the big I went in there with my folder with all my little certificates. Completed this program. I got my GED. I had the big prison glasses on. That shit ain't work at all. I ended up getting a bed date, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bed date, and what happened was my I ended up losing my bed date because I ended up losing my bed date because they thought I escaped. It was a cold red in the jail.
I thought you
My celly was trying to get me to max out because I ain't had that much time left.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm just trying no. I want to go home.
Yeah.
He had like 7 years left. I'm like, no, I want to go home. He like, man, you gonna go? You mind by the time you do this? He just wanted a friend. No, I'm not gonna tell you about The Wire because the season one of The Wire was out.
Yeah.
He had the TV, whatever. So anyway, lights on standing count. Right, I was working in the kitchen, but not that day.
Yeah.
It was a new CO on the block. My celly let me sleep. He at the gate.
Blocking it. So
Yes, yes. So they counted. They couldn't find me. They checked the kitchen. I wasn't there. They counted again. Then they didn't see me. Locked the jail down. Code red. Then the third count, there's a bunch of COs on the block. They count again. Then I'm waking up. They like, there you go, right there. Don't you think they would check the cell initially after the second count?
Yeah. Right.
So I end up going to the hole.
Oh, because you ain't.
Yeah, because that was the write up.
That
But
was the
because
write-up,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
count.
So I ended up losing my bid day because of that. And the max now anyway. Then I go
Stop
to the
playing.
hole. Yeah. I went to the hole, came back on the same block. And man, this goofy wasn't in the same cell. Matter of fact, the dude was from Harrisburg. Big goofy dude. I get to this weird Italian dude who had like 30 years. And I had to check him quick. He thought he wanted to wrestle. Don't ever play with me. Never.
Yeah.
If you want to live the rest of your life, don't ever play with me. I don't play. I don't play fight. And looking back on that, I think he probably was trying me for real. That's some faggy. I'm a wrestle. I don't play. I don't do all that, dude. We gonna fight. But
I had a
yeah.
Jamaican Sally. He was an asshole, but we only thing he ever said to me was when it was this other Baltimore dude up there, and he was a young boy, and like once I talked to him, he knew some people I knew, right?
Oh, there it is.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? He cool, and there was this other guy who I met up there who knew my my soon-to-be wife, right? He already knew her. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, yo, when I told he was who I was messing with, he was her best friend, stepbrother, some shit like that. So me and him instantly got cool, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then the young boy, we trying to pull him. So it's only like 4 Baltimore dudes up in Somerset at the time. And he was one of them, but he kept running with the Philly dudes. You know what I mean? Like every time they go to rec, he would down. Every time, like you know how it is when we from out of town. When we go to rec, all the Baltimore people gonna come
Yeah,
together.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So he ain't coming though. He going mess with fucking with them Philly niggas. And one of the Philly niggas end up fighting him, chasing him around the park with a motherfucking pencil,
Are you
trying to
serious?
stab him with him. You know what I mean? And the Jamaican dude gonna holler, oh yeah, you ain't do nothing when they was chasing your boy around the park. I said, first of all, nigga, he ain't my motherfucking boy. I said, you ain't see me hanging with him. I said, you see who I hang with. I said, now if they did that to yo, then you talk to me. I said, but you see, I said, you ain't see I hang with that boy. I
Yeah.
said, I was,
I was I was fucking with the Philly niggas too, like heavy. My man Mighty Hebrew, but I was only Baltimore dude. I was fucking with the Pittsburgh niggas and the Philly dudes, but I ain't belonging to nobody group.
I don't remember talking to, I don't
The
remember
Philly
fucking
dudes,
with
the Philly
nobody.
dudes that I was up there with, they was all right. They was like Baltimore niggas. They just all of them was Muslims. Everybody was a Muslim.
I only I only people I would fuck with when I went upstate was the Baltimore dudes and the Philly dudes that came upstate with me. You know what I mean? That was
Yeah.
in York and shit. This nigga named Worm. And
See,
Worm did
but
introduce me to
a
this
bunch of
other
y'all
dude.
but see y'all went up together. That's different.
Yeah, that was
I was
saying
at yeah, because when I went upstate, we had went to Smithville
yeah,
for a layover, and then we went up Cold Township.
yeah.
Yeah, and but I don't remember. It was some. It had to be somebody because we was a busload of us went the same place, but it wasn't nobody that I dealt with.
Yeah, that
It
you
was,
was
yeah, I
cool
mean,
with.
yeah, it was just. I don't even know how I got in the in crowd up
I
there.
don't even remember
That's
hanging with
crazy.
no York dudes when I went upstate up there because I didn't even really know a lot
Oh,
of them.
you know who my dude? You probably don't remember. No, because he was when I was on over there with the Hoppers. It was this Jamaican dude named Dante Reed.
Yeah,
He ended up coming upstate. I think he went on the west side.
yeah,
I don't know if I was on the east or west, but they had two sides of the prison.
yeah.
I think he went to the other side.
I
The
don't.
craziest celly I had right when I got up there. I know we kind of going off a little bit. I'm sorry. This nigga was a weirdo. I had a couple of crazy cellies. I had one celly before we went upstate. Before I went to the hole, this dude feet fucking stunk like a motherfucker, right? And I used to make the motherfucker put his shoes outside the cell, like yo, because that's how bad his feet was stinking. But anyway, sidebar. Get upstate, right? When I get to SCI Code Township, we in a hole for 2 weeks. 2 weeks because that's how long it took the classifiers, right?
Yeah,
And I had this little young dude from Philly had life, and he had told me this crazy ass story about how he got life, and it was something along the lines of him like going, he was messing with a girl, or whatever, and like the father and him ain't like him or something crazy like that, and he ended up getting a bang out with the father
yeah,
and like the brothers or something like that, but he ended up shooting the girl.
yeah.
According to him, in the bang out, he shot and the bullet hit the pole and ricocheted and hit her, and he ended up getting life.
Dang.
He was in there. He was on some like kill himself shit. The only thing that saved him was him being a Muslim. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And praying every night, whatever, making salat, getting on his knees to piss, and all that goofy shit. But I ain't gonna. But don't hurt me, y'all. There's a lot of y'all. I'm just saying to me at the time that's how I looked at it. But
You say sitting on their knees.
yeah, to went splash.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
went splash. I understood that.
Because
It
they
was
got to get on the floor to pray.
yeah.
So they don't want
But
to.
they didn't want the pee to get on themselves either.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
So what they kneel?
he would kneel in front of the toilet
You know what I was going to say when I was in the hole with this dude? He used to pee in a carton.
and then dump it.
Yeah, and then dump it.
That's a way to do it. He had told me like the
And
Prophet
I was
Muhammad didn't
running,
want it to
and
splash.
yo,
You
it's
never wanted to splash.
listen. The whole when I was about to bring it up when you was talking about it because you was saying your bumpies, and I was going to say I was going to bring it up, but now that you said, now I know why he was doing it. Because at first I could not understand why he was pissing in them cars. But now I like we in the whole fuck you think we going at?
Yeah.
Why you think that's going on? But he was pissing in the cartons and then throwing them, then
Hmm.
dumping them in the sink, then rinsing them out and shit.
Oh, I remember this. I had this one celly, right? This was I was in the county before I came on the other side with you, little young dude. Um, and he was trying to keep his case a secret, right? But he was kept saying he was like he had robbed something crazy, right?
Yeah,
But you know how it is up there. This ancient thing called the newspaper.
that you spoke of before.
Yeah. Um. So he would like get real excited when the baby. It didn't. A lot of stuff didn't make sense right off, right? He would when he hear from his baby mother, he get all excited. He had all these ups and downs. He be happy, he be sad, all over the place, right? But he's lying about what he locked up for, right? But he got a little size to him, so like he could move around a little bit, and ain't
Mm.
nobody really. They all whispering the real shit.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Oh
Instead of
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Anybody they like, you know,
yeah,
you ain't locked up
yeah,
for fucking
yeah.
with kids and some
So
shit.
and,
Right?
and that's look. So long story short, he go to court, whatever. He get like 8 years or whatever, right? And he come back, whatever. He down or whatever, right? But he had so what he did was he was watching his daughter. You see where this going?
Yeah.
And she wouldn't stop crying. He got frustrated and shook the baby, and it broke some of her ribs or whatever. So that's why he ended up getting that. But I think it was some other shit about him, like he just couldn't control himself or whatever,
Yeah.
right? But man, no, no. I think you know who I'm talking about. This wasn't the other side. This was on the block we was on because Pittsburgh was there. I don't know if this was after you left and went to the kitchen or whatever. But anyway, long story short,
He
remember
lived on Maple Street.
I don't remember where the nigga lived at, but
Big
remember,
nigga with a lot of hair.
no, he wasn't that big. He was just like a regular size, but he had a little bit of, you know what I mean? He's bigger than me at the time. I was skinny mini.
Tall. He
He's
wasn't
about
tall.
nah, no. But so look, Reep, this what happened though, because you wasn't there. Because I said something to Pittsburgh about it. But every night he keep talking about killing himself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself. So it started every night. I'm in there with this him ups and downs, sitting there talking to him. I'm on the
He was
top
your
bump.
celly?
Yeah, I'm on the bottom bump. So I'm locked in with this nut. So he in there, he talking about the letter and this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, but then he'll get on his sad shit or whatever, right? So I'm like, yo, I'm talking to Pittsburgh. I'm like, yo, telling him about like the shit he be talking about, like it's starting to drain me a little bit. I got my own problems.
Mm-hmm.
He like, yo, tell him to do that shit or keep it to himself.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
that same night,
yeah.
just like clockwork, he just started going through his little depressed shit. He said something. I forgot exactly what he said, but I gave him the line.
Yeah.
I said, yo, either do it or keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
So he like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I jumped off the bunk. I said, I'm gonna help you. So let me tell you what I did. So I hope you're doing all right, yo. Um, so I tied his legs up. He was laying flat on the bed, right? And I tied his legs up, tied the other end of the sheet part to his neck. So scooted him off the bed so that the weight of his legs,
Yeah.
when he can't hold it no more, it'll start choking him.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting on the joint like this. He so I'm all dumb. I'm like, you gonna get in trouble for this stupid
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was
So
about to say,
so
yeah.
so that night, so I ended up like scooting him up, and then that night I was like, yo, I know what you locked up for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we talked.
So what you do? Get him down?
No, he wasn't never down. So look, he laid on his stomach
Yeah.
and like with his legs up.
Yeah.
You tie his legs up. You tie arms and legs up behind your back.
Yeah.
Then you tie the rope to his neck. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So when his legs start going to sleep, it start pulling on his neck.
Yeah.
So it start choking him.
Yeah.
But the way you speed the process up is you hang the legs off the bed a little bit.
Yeah.
So now it's nothing there. So it's going to make it happen faster. So I'm sitting there. And then I fucking slid him up and we talked. That was
Know
the
what I'm saying? You
craziest.
saved him.
Yeah, well, I would have killed him if I would have fucking my dumb ass participating in it all dumb. Talking about some 8 years, nigga. I've been there. What you in for? Well, originally, and then
first guy.
yeah, now I'm here with this nut. But yo, it's just in there, man.
So he was serious. He was
Yeah,
gonna let it go.
yeah. But I just think that it was the guilt of what he did.
Nah, he just ain't want to deal with the repercussions of
Yeah,
it.
cause
That's all. He
yeah,
wanted
cause
to. He wanted to.
everybody
He wanted to
everybody
cop
knew.
out.
Yeah,
Because
everybody knew.
it just like most people, like if they get caught now, they want to act like they remorseful. But a
Yeah,
lot of times, if they could get away with it, and they do get away with it, they don't be having no remorse for that shit. How many people actually walk in and be like, you know what? I done something wrong. I want to be held accountable for my actions. It ain't that
that's
many.
rare.
Yeah, it's rare. So that's what I'm saying. So those people might be having a little remorse, but the people who get caught or and shit like that, I don't know. I'm not having none of that shit.
That was crazy. Like, it's funny, but it's not funny. You know what
It
I
ain't
mean?
funny because of what the shit he did first and foremost, and then secondly, you know what I mean? Like he, that's not no escape. I don't see how nobody think that ending your very existence is going to solve a problem.
Right.
To me, like I said, we all know that.
That's the
Like
easy way out.
it ain't no easy way. That's
I'm
what I'm
just
saying.
saying
It's
though.
not easy.
I'm
It's the
just saying
most
though. Like,
difficult way out because now you have nothing. Even if say like if I don't, especially anybody that's a person in jail,
hmm
tiny bit. Because now, especially if you know you're going to live the rest of your life in jail, that might give you a be like,
and
you
he had
might
eight
not want.
years. He was
You know
coming
what I'm
home.
saying?
It wasn't.
Now, if you got 100 years and you thinking, damn, this is all I have to live forward to for the rest of my existence, yeah, you might think about it. But anybody that's out in this world and that could walk down the street and still think about that shit is crazy to me. It's like it's just too much other
I,
variables that you can think about
I'm
this
gonna say this. I think that I guess not even to take it off. But I think I agree with you.
8 years.
But I'm gonna say this. Like for some people, like they really somewhere along the line that idea was planted in their brain. Whether it might have been directly or indirectly something they saw.
Yeah.
And then they identified with that and they thought that was an option. But let me ask you another question. Do you want to say something else before I
Go
take it
on.
somewhere else?
Go on.
All right, so we've talked about prison and you said 100 years. I know we done the topic over. This is we just going. Look, yo, do you see how they living in jail now? I seen a dude playing a video game in jail. They got tablets.
My cousin be calling me.
It's like they got
He said I
prison
could call him
TikToks.
from the joint if I want to.
I'm just saying though. I mean, outside of the stuff that they give you,
I
is
mean,
this is it?
they gotta come with the times. Like everything must evolve, and
Yeah,
that's a small price to pay for the way they treat people and the point and the fact that all the
yeah,
people that they got in there for the bullshit. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So giving somebody a tablet
It's not even. Yeah,
and cable, yeah, but then you making millions of dollars off these people and shit
hmm
like that. Like
yes,
that's it. That's just something so they don't be wilding and acting stupid. You see what
yeah.
I'm saying?
And, you know, it's crazy because you gotta think to your point. Like that's what a lot of these young guys grew up with the internet and tablets their whole life.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the norm, not a
That's
They get in
another
there and see a
pacifier.
television. They see a television like, what's this?
Exactly.
Like, nah, where's the tablet? Where's the earphone? Like, what's going on?
When I had my pickup truck, my son got in that bitch. He like, how you roll the window down? It was fun in the joint. He like,
That's
how
what I'm
you roll the
saying.
window down? I like you gotta roll it down by hand.
It's nothing that you get. It's nothing that you could give me inside of there that'll make it feel like home. Never. Yo, I was in a situation, right? I'll tell. So I was putting. I had like a sweet little offer, right? Something that I can't own legally. I took it, right? No, listen, hit me. But it was like, let's say like I gotta get it from point A to point B.
Yeah,
This could be the broken tail light day.
yeah, yeah,
And then you know what I thought about when you get in process, the whole walkthrough.
yeah,
You in this cell, then they spit you finger. You go to this cell, then you get your little yellow jumpsuit, the orange jumpsuit, and you get up there on your phone. You know what I'm saying? Da, da, da. Like yo, I'm in here.
yeah.
Like I just thought about all that. And I was like, is the juice worth the squeeze, right? And here's the thing. I know I could have got to the point B easy,
Yeah.
easy. But my hands been clean so long. I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, I was there.
Yeah,
Like, you know how they people who have vivid dreams?
yeah,
They wake up. Sidebar, like the other day, my wife woke up, popped up, 5:30. I'm getting ready. She just popped up.
yeah,
She had a dream.
yeah.
I said, what I do now? You cheated. And then I went on the internet and went on the podcast. I'm like, baby, that wasn't me, but it was, I could tell, like that
It
me
was
and that.
vivid, like
Yeah,
that. She
exactly.
believe it.
But to me, it was a little touch. Like, I've been chilling and I'm gonna keep chilling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I practice what I preach.
Yeah.
And, but like, like you you bury stuff. You bury a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And it was like that experience, not just when you in there, you dealing with it. Like when you get so like it's a whole process of losing everything. Whatever it is you got. When you're a teenager, it's like you getting locked up for a couple of months, and then your cousin's just stealing your clothes and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Your shirt. You see what's the name with your shirt on. Like, yo, give me my shirt. You know what I'm saying? And you come home to your room and shit.
Yeah.
The older you get, the more stuff you got to lose. You get a job, you get a place. You lose your furniture. You know what I'm saying? You lose your might not your your vehicle. You lose your job. Yeah,
Lose
this shit
place.
gets sold in the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you get older, you get a little bit more established. You get a vehicle. You got family. You got kids and shit. And then like you lose. Like now, it's not about you. You know what I'm saying? And you go in there in 30 days, you ain't gonna have a job.
Thank you.
In 60 to 90 days, you're gonna lose that vehicle. In your house, if it's you renting, you're gonna lose it. And if you own it, or if you paying a mortgage rather, it's gonna go in foreclosure. Now you done stressed out your wife, your girlfriend, your kids. Everybody life is chaotic for what? So it don't matter what risk you taking, but you really got to think about all like, is it really worth it? Is the juice worth the squeeze? It could be a situation where you get caught off guard, where you might have to put some hands with somebody, and you just got to think for everybody in every situation. Because yo, I was there, and it wasn't even that deep, Doug.
Yeah.
It was not even deep to bring it up.
Yeah.
I brought it up because we was talking about prison, but I was just there.
Yeah.
The whole walkthrough.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, imagine like you know how you just like now. I've been free for a long time, and you get the calls from niggas. Yo, what's going on out there? Yo, dial this number. You know what I'm saying? And you doing all that, and you sending money. Now you send people money through the internet on the website and all that stuff, and you doing all that. Or such just got locked up, and now they calling you, and it's like, yo, check on my son. I can't imagine for any reason that I'll be in that position, that I could put myself in that situation anymore. Ain't nothing worth it. I got too much. I like my nice car. I love, even I did think about my wife and she on my nerve. I love sitting here next to this soft, beautiful fucking ebony fucking queen every day, and my little headache daughter, like just being there. Like my son, as goofy as he is, like my grandchildren.
Yeah.
Like this be able to come out here and hit record.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I was there, Doug. Mentally. And it's like, I think I passed a little test because it was like, yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, the last time I was in there because of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's like, the thing is, like, when we talk about healthy habits and impulses, going back to what you were talking about, the rehab, the self-rehab. And it came from trial and error because, like, I did a lot of impulsive shit then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm still that to a certain degree, just more disciplined.
Yeah.
And I created different things for myself to keep myself in check. You know what I'm saying? And the gym is one of those things.
Yeah.
I deal with everything. If anybody talk to me about anything, I say, yo, take it to the gym. That's my answer for everything because it worked for me. I can't make up some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, this is how I deal with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But, whoo, I was there, Doug.
I mean, I hear you.
I mean, I might get a phone or something when I get in there, a tablet. Hey, it's nothing you could give me. Conclusion that'll fucking pacify me
enough
to be content and to be content in that. Like, I'm 43 years old. Like, you know how hard it is to start over now. When you go in there, you lose everything. Now your credit fucked up. Everything messed up. I ain't got 7 years after doing whatever time I got to get it all wiped, cleaned up, and all this calling the creditors trying to settle and do that, blah, blah, blah. No, it's over. It's over.
Hey.
I don't know. That was a rant. I didn't even tell my wife. She be watching shit all the way through too. I just told her. Yeah, it is what it is.
Nah, but hey man.
But no, I think you would if you was like I'll tell you off camera, but you would have been proud of me. I'm telling you, you would have been proud of me, yo. But anything you want to say in closing? Because we went past our mark. You want to close on lead and drugs?
No. I'm just like I said, we just gotta keep in mind the mental capacity of the people that we dealing with, and what's affecting their mental capacity. So if we got to try to find a way to try to heal them, then we got to find ways to really heal them, not just with no words and no education. Like yo, we really got to find ways to get to them. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And teach them how to deal with situations in a rational manner. But just seems like it's almost impossible. Because the stuff I be watching, I'm a, it be the there's a guy who got a
Hey,
YouTube channel
yeah.
called, his name Tony Two Times. I be watching that shit all the time. But it's
Sound
called the
familiar.
Baltimore Way, and he just be talking about all these
Yeah,
cases
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
that
know who you
happen
talking
and
about.
things. Some things you know, some things you don't know. You know what I mean? But it just like the stories that he be telling, be like, yo, all 80% of that shit be preventable. Now the beefs I'm not talking about because I know a beef you cannot explain to nobody to stop no beef when they done lost people in this war.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You can't be like, yo, you got to be the one to calm down when you done lost a little cousin, a big cousin, or uncle or something in this war. So it
yeah,
that like when people beefing, I don't even get in there. But when you talking about like senseless stuff, like people getting robbed and they only got $48 and they getting the money, but they still shooting a car up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
what is even the purpose of that? You know what I mean?
It's
But
the
like you said,
dumbest shit.
it's that mental capacity. Like they, it's like they, you know what it be? It's the inability to damn, what is the word?
Comprehend?
Nah, not comprehend. Like just when they say you can't, like you said, you impulsive.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm
It
saying?
is an impulsive
It's
reaction.
it's an impulsive
Yes.
reaction, like
You ain't
and
even think
then
it through. They didn't even.
they ain't the thought popped in their mind and they did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I should do this, and then they did instead of being like, nah, that don't even make no sense for
They
me.
didn't play every scenario out in
Yeah,
their head.
no
It was just
scenario. The
this.
first
Yeah,
scenario
boom.
popped
And
in
then
their head,
whatever, when the smoke clears, that's what happened.
and then with the smoke clear, they had to deal with the repercussions of their actions.
I'm gonna say this: Free Bill Vicks, right? We did a podcast before I was set up to do like stuff over the jail. I did a couple. I did like two podcasts with lifers, right? They still up. One, something the audio was messed up with one. And my cousin Vic, she got life. He was talking about the young, he been locked up since I came home. So he been locked up probably about 18 years, maybe 19. Anyway, he was talking about how these little all the little young little crash outs coming over there
Yeah,
and they just playing basketball. Little dudes got a lot of time. Life never
yeah,
come and it's not even processing.
Russian in
He's
their
like,
head.
like it's something wrong with these little
Yeah,
motherfuckers. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
like you
Like they
said,
coming there, they just not even coherent of the situation that
that
they
they're
in.
in.
Like, dude, you not going home.
Yeah,
Never. And they
yeah,
just kids in there playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? Pass me the
yeah.
ball.
They
And
don't.
it goes to that. That's what's happening. Those the guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's not. I don't think it's like a one size fit all um solution.
Yeah,
But you
that's
know what I mean?
impossible.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But I think we just gotta keep picking at it
You gotta
with
diagnose the
different
people
things.
about what may be affecting their brains. Like you know, if you talk to somebody and you got to talk about their mother, and you like, well, how was your mother? They be like, well, she used to get high. Well, what she used to get high off? Well, she used to get high off crack and things of that nature. Well, was you born with it? She like, yeah, we lived in this house and they had some issues with lead. So now you look at his side effects of the things that's in him and then you counter that. You know what I mean? But like you said, it's gonna be had to be down there on an independent study, and that shit'll take forever.
Yeah, but I think if we just keep picking at it, keep talking about it, spread awareness first, and then like I
I
mean,
know.
like you said, like it's all on an individual basis. But
Yeah.
I
Like you
think
said, that's not to cut you off,
mhm,
but that's what I didn't mind about the school when I was working there. I thought that maybe that's what I was gonna be able to do, but I wasn't ready myself because like you said, I'm still thinking that I can like appeal to them on my
uh,
level, and I couldn't.
they
You know what I
different.
mean? They different, and like you know what I mean. I had to try. I didn't have enough time, and I didn't. Even though I was trying, I was start reading and start settling back down and trying to get more focused since I was at the school. You know what I mean? But them kids was wild, and like I said, I was at Mervo, I was at Digital Harbor, I was at Edmondson, and like
And it's you know what what's crazy, not to cut you off. All the schools fucked up like that.
and what's crazy, Digital Harbor, when you walked in that school, they
It looked
redid
good.
that school, it looked
Yeah,
good.
I went there. I went
Yeah,
to Southern
didn't you?
before they call it
Yeah,
Digital
yeah.
Harvard.
Before it was
Yeah.
digital, it was Southern at first, and they done got all this internet. I mean, computer stuff in there. But like you
You
said, the
know
kids
why?
still wilding.
But hold on to your point though, and it's funny you say that, right? You know why that school looked like that?
Cause where's that?
Yeah, no, but because it's more people paying property taxes. That's
Oh,
how the funding. That's why Lake Clifton looked like Lake Clifton. That's why Dunbar looked like Dunbar.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That's why the schools in these certain areas look the way they look based on the property taxes and stuff like
oh
that.
yeah.
So
I ain't
that's
know
why
that.
it's not kind of not fair. So if you
Yeah,
live in a certain neighborhood where it's kind of uppity, you're gonna have a better school. You're gonna have better teachers. Blah blah blah. The
yeah,
more money the neighborhood is,
yeah.
the better the school
School
is,
is.
and that's kind of the unfairness. And then in the cities, they get a lot of money dumped into it. And as you can see, like in Baltimore, they taking the money
Yeah,
and all this different stuff. And it's like the money that they pay is enough to send each individual kid to a not charter school, to a private school
yeah.
where they can get a better education. That's neither here nor there. We could have that conversation one day
Yeah, we
too.
gonna have
I mean,
that.
but
We
to
gonna
your
have that when
point,
we come back. Cause I had that down there too.
man,
The educational system and
what's
how.
this episode 5?
Yeah, it's been about 5.
Yeah, episode. So we can y'all tell this guy to come up with a name for the podcast, please.
I'm
And
gonna
I'm
do
gonna
it this
try to
week.
I'm gonna try to argue with him on the next one about something, but we just like
Nah,
been
I'm gonna
agreeing too
bring. I
much.
got. I wasn't ready for all of this, but I brought some. I'm just gonna keep piling them up, and and it's crazy because no matter what I write down, it seems like the first thing I speak out, we just run off with that, and that
And
just
that's
turned into
fine.
a different thing.
Yeah, that's
So I
fine.
still got mad topics that we ain't even going. We ain't got,
Yeah, so when we start, yeah.
and when yeah.
Oh, so I think two more things that announced. We're going to start doing probably like a Friday or Saturday show. I don't know. We're gonna do a live show where we do a panel. It's gonna be based on this podcast here, and we gonna have some other stuffs in the work. We're gonna bring back For Better or Worse, if y'all familiar with that. Try to get the Big Homie podcast and the merge with Needles and Wild Bill at some point or whatever. And we're gonna keep cooking. Also, what you had on the docket for us, the books.
Oh no, I was thinking we're.
We're gonna do book reviews, no fictional books, just like little small books. Anybody got any suggestions, recommendations, anything uplifting and positive, like just send it our way.
Con-
Yeah, we're gonna take a look at it and just read it and talk about what we
Summarize
got.
it,
Yeah,
yeah,
what we
yeah.
got out of it, and try
Yeah,
to
and
have a
give our
conversation
each
about it.
perspective. That way, if I got a different way, get different perspective out, I could listen to yours. And just like the
Yeah,
women's book club, but it ain't gonna be no fictional,
yeah, and I
no
like that
bullshit.
idea because I love that because a lot of times people just don't be read. Like a
Yeah,
lot of stuff I talk about when I be talking, I done read it or I
yeah.
studied the information or like I really do like I love information. I got a library in my basement.
Know what I'm
It's a
saying?
small library, but like I collect books. Like
Hmm.
unfortunately life happens. I don't have a time to read everything the way I used to, especially before the iPhone 2 came out when everybody was still using the BlackBerry with the little
Yeah,
ball in the middle.
yeah.
But like I'm with you on this reading thing. We gotta like promote that because knowledge is power. And like any muscle you don't use, you lose it. So you gotta use your brain. Your brain is a muscle, man. And a lot of times we just be unread and we just don't know a lot of shit. And then we just
Yeah.
be talking. And it's like it's nothing wrong with information. Think about all the songs,
You know
you
what?
know.
The
Imagine if it's just information. My fault. That's it.
no,
I'm done.
I was just going to say like maybe we could do the when we do the book thing, we can do the book thing live. That way, if
That's
people
cool
have
too.
any comment, I mean any questions about the book, I mean, especially if somebody gave you a suggestion.
Yeah.
And then we read it, and they might not even have the
Yeah.
time to read it. We read it. You see
And,
what I'm
and
saying?
another thing is too, like if
I'm
people
gonna
don't have
segue
time,
into that because
okay.
I love reading too.
If you don't have time to read books, I'm gonna make this recommendation. I would rather you read if you have the time, but if you gotta be on the go, a lot of these books have audio versions of them, so you could just plug in the earbud and be at work in the forklift or whatever on the construction site, or at the school on your lunch break with one earbud and listening to the book, um, taking notes,
Hmm.
and like just research this stuff. You cross examine some of the stuff that you may have questions about, or it might be something you didn't know. You want to look more into that, and now it's something you have an opinion about it.
And we're gonna take words out of that we're not familiar with and just use one each day. Like you're gonna take words out that book that you ain't
My
know. You're
ignorant
gonna take a
ass.
word. But you only gotta take one word. We don't need the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be like, well, this word I came across, I ain't know, but when I looked it up, it was such and such and
And you
such
know
and
what? I
such.
think that's a good thing to promote, just having a bigger vocabulary, because a lot of times when you was talking about emotion and expressing yourself and dealing with stuff, a lot of stuff come with communication and not finding the words to
Exactly,
express
can be
yourself.
frustrating.
Exactly. And I think I was a brighter person when I had more time to read.
Yeah,
I'm just into different type of shit. Like I'm
yeah,
Anunnaki, biblical, ancient this. That's just the shit I like. And I didn't even know I liked this stuff. Excuse
yeah,
me. I didn't know. Like I'm
yeah.
like,
Till
dude,
you start
I
reading.
am a different person. I'm the same person, but I like different stuff. I'm not the little animal. Like in prison, it was like to a certain degree. It wasn't the same way. I'm talking about I am not, I am a better, great, I'm a different
That's
person, man.
your
And
first.
fuck that shit. And like, yeah, but I mean, I and I just love like I love just being able to go in the basement. I can speak a different language.
Yeah.
Like
See
I
now,
took the
yeah,
time, and it made me understand English better, to be
yeah,
honest. But I just realized how ignorant I was. And it was like, yo, that's why I always be talking about the school shit.
yeah.
Because I'm speaking from my perspective and what I went through. And I'm like, damn, I didn't realize I was that dumb until I got older. And then I realized,
I
oh
wouldn't say
shit.
I don't use words like dumb.
I'm
I
being
would say
funny.
that
I'm being facetious.
yeah,
You know
but
what I
at the
mean? And
same
that's
time,
joking about something serious
yeah,
if you don't know the definition.
see,
But
yeah, see.
that's
But
the first word of the series, facetious. And
know what I'm saying? Exactly.
yeah. All right,
But
you close it, man.
I was just saying, if anybody that watched, we appreciate you watching. And like I
Absolutely.
said,
If you watched it all the way to the end,
and
you
that
definitely could get a Jim off your t-shirt or something.
you know, what I mean, if we held your interest and you want to come back, tune back in next week, we have another one for you. And if you have any topics and anything that you like to discuss, like we said, we're gonna bring out the book
Yes.
thing, so we could. And if you have any suggestions about any books, not no novels, that's
Yeah, like we ain't got
you know what I
other
mean.
shit
We don't
going
have
on.
that kind of time, but
No.
like little 300-400 page books, maybe we can get them in, and you know what I mean. Especially anything that's insightful.
And
that
another
we
way
can
we could
speak
do,
on
we
it.
could do chapter to chapter. That way we ain't got to
Yeah,
rush
we can
through
do
it.
chapter to
And
chapter.
that way we could like we try to do a couple of books a year. We ain't
Yeah,
got to, that way we ain't got to really try to cram.
cram a lot.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
we could really get into a chapter and really break it down.
And break it down. Yeah,
Yeah, I
we can
think
do
that's the
that
best
too.
way to do it.
We could do that too. And then it could be any size book. Then it might take us a year to
And
read the
that's
book.
fine. But if it's a good book,
That's what I'm saying. And if it got a lot of information.
I mean, we could look. All right, we out,
Yeah, and
man.
then when we start the book shit,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
gonna have I had
We
a
gotta,
name
that
by
got
it.
that got to be another whole part. Just even just having this conversation.
Yeah,
Man, thanks for watching, man.
yeah. Thank you.